Today we're looking into something that, well, a lot of English learners struggle with. How to finally start speaking fluently, naturally. It's such a common sticking point, isn't it? You might have spent years hitting the books. Maybe you've got a decent vocabulary. You understand the grammar.
Right.
But then when it's actually time to speak, the confidence just evaporates.
Yeah, you hesitate. Maybe your mind goes blank.
Exactly. Or you're just so worried about making a mistake that you freeze up.
It's incredibly common. And what's interesting is the material we've looked at suggests a pretty different way to maybe break through that plateau.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to kind of unpack this fresh approach. It really emphasizes more ease, more natural acquisition.
Right, because the core idea we're exploring seems to be that fluency isn't just about endless drills and memorizing lists.
Not solely, no.
It's actually much more about your mindset and how you immerse yourself.
Yeah.
Even if you don't live in an English-speaking country.
Precisely. That's a key point. So where do we start?
Okay, let's dive in. Step one seems really fundamental. It's about your beliefs, what you actually believe about learning English.
Absolutely. The sources really hammer this home, the power of belief. It sounds a bit simple, maybe, but if you're convinced deep down that English is just incredibly difficult,
Your brain kind of resists it.
yeah, it's like you create your own obstacle. But conversely, if you can genuinely start to believe, okay, this is achievable, I can do this, your brain becomes much more open, more receptive.
It makes me think of like a baby learning to walk.
Okay.
They fall down constantly, but they don't lie there thinking, oh, walking's too hard because I'm a crawler for life.
Right. Good analogy.
They just get up and try again. Those falls, those mistakes, they're just part of the process, not a verdict on their ability.
That's such a great way to put it. And it ties directly into the idea of positive self-talk. The sources really push for actively changing that internal script, catching yourself thinking, my English is awful, or I just can't speak.
And replacing it with
Something more constructive, like, okay, I'm learning, I'm making progress every day. It might feel a bit forced at first, but consistently feeding yourself that positive message, it genuinely helps shift your perspective.
And let's really underline this point about mistakes. The material is super clear. Mistakes aren't the enemy.
Far from it.
They're actually proof you're learning. If you're not making any mistakes.
You're probably not pushing yourself, right? You're staying in your comfort zone.
Exactly. You're not trying new things, not really stretching your abilities.
So mistakes are good. They're necessary feedback.
Okay, so mindset shift is step one. Believe it's possible, embrace mistakes. What's next?
The next big step, based on our sources, is creating an immersive environment.
Right. And the big takeaway here is you don't need to pack your bags and move abroad.
Definitely not. That's a common misconception. You can build an English bubble right where you are.
So practical things, like change your phone language. Seems small, but
It's surprisingly effective. Suddenly, you're seeing English all the time for tasks you already understand. It's this constant, low-pressure exposure.
okay, I like that.
What else?
Building on that, starting to think in English.
Okay. This sounds trickier.
It can feel a bit weird at first, yeah, because we're so used to thinking in our native language and then, translating.
Right, that mental translation step.
The goal is to bypass that. Start simple.
Like when you wake up.
Exactly. Instead of your usual thought, try the English version. Okay, time to get up. Making tea. I am making tea. Looking outside. It's raining today.
So narrating your own life, but silently in English.
Kind of, yeah. It feels unnatural initially, but the more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. And crucially, it stops that slow, clunky translation process when you actually want to speak.
Got it. What about talking out loud?
Yes. Another technique, maybe feels a bit odd, is talking to yourself in English.
Like in the mirror?
The sources actually suggest that, yeah. Stand in front of the mirror, have a little chat. Okay, what would you say?
Simple stuff. Hi, how are you? I'm feeling good today. I need to go to the shop later. The point is, it's practice without pressure, no judgment.
Right, nobody's listening, so you can just try forming sentences, getting used to the sounds.
Precisely. And another really hands-on tip, labeling things.
Sticky notes.
Yep. Put a label on your door, your table, your cup, and every time you see it, say the word out loud.
Book, chair, window.
Exactly. It connects the visual object directly with the English word and the sound. Very practical vocabulary building.
Okay, so mindset, immersion through thinking and labeling. What's the third key step?
This one might surprise some people, especially if they've had traditional language classes.
Yeah.
prioritize communication over perfect grammar, particularly at the start.
Right. That feels counterintuitive.
But
We spend so much time on grammar rules.
we do. But think about how kids learn their first language.
They don't start with textbooks on verb conjugation.
Exactly. They listen, they copy sounds, they babble, they make tons of mistakes, and gradually, through use and exposure, the grammar sorts itself out.
So the focus should be less on intricate rules and more on just using simple sentences.
Yes. Learn core sentence patterns first. The sources give examples like present continuous, I am eating, she is going to the market, they are playing football.
Basic building blocks.
Fundamental building blocks. Get comfortable using those simple structures to express yourself. The more complex grammar will develop more naturally from that foundation.
And listening plays a big role here too, right?
Yeah.
Listening and repeating.
A huge role. When you hear a native speaker say something, don't just understand it intellectually. Try to repeat it out loud.
Mimic the sound.
Yeah, pay attention to the rhythm, the intonation, how the words connect. If you hear, I am going to the market, say, I am going to the market. Right back, trying to match their sound.
Okay, that makes sense for pronunciation too.
Definitely improves pronunciation and builds confidence in making those sounds.
So let's tie this all together. We've got mindset, environment, focusing on communication. How does this actually look in like a normal day?
Right. The compelling idea here is that you probably already know enough English to start using it. You just need to activate it in your routines.
Like that morning routine example.
Exactly. Waking up, good morning, I feel fresh today. Bathroom, I am brushing my teeth. Kitchen, I am making tea, even if you're alone, just saying it.
It connects the action to the English phrase.
And it doesn't have to be just self-talk. Maybe a simple exchange with family. Morning, sleep well, yeah. Breakfast.
Keeping it simple and functional.
Totally. Or think about grocery shopping. Excuse me, where is the rice? How much is this? Okay, I'll take it.
Just using English for those everyday tasks.
Or meeting a friend. Hey, how's it going? Good, you. Want to grab coffee later? Ordering that coffee. What are you having? I'll get a latte. Okay, 2 lattes, please.
These are all normal interactions we have.
Exactly. And even at night, maybe discussing the day with family. How was your day? It was okay. What's for dinner? Or even that self-talk before sleep. Today was busy. Tomorrow, I need to.
So it's about intentionally weaving English into these moments throughout the day.
Consciously choosing to use it, yes. And remembering that listening and repetition part we mentioned. Hear a sentence, say it back.
Like, could you pass the salt?
Say it back. Could you pass the salt? Try to match the sound. It really helps tune your ear and train your mouth.
Okay, this all sounds really practical. But let's be real, people hit walls. What about those big barriers? The fear, the pronunciation worries, not enough practice, that mental translation habit.
Absolutely. And the sources tackle these head on. They acknowledge these are the real hurdles for many learners.
Good. So pronunciation first. People worry about their accent.
And the advice isn't get a perfect native accent. It's speak clearly so people understand you.
Okay, that's more achievable.
Listen and copy. Simple as that. Find short videos, audio clips, focus on single sentences like I want to go to the park. Listen closely, then say it exactly as you heard it. Repeat.
So imitation is key.
And another tip, maybe counterintuitive. Speak a bit slower and clearer.
Not faster. People think faster means fluent.
Often, rushing just makes you less clear. Slowing down slightly, enunciating, that actually improves understanding. And record yourself.
Oh, brave.
Yeah. Record yourself, then listen to a native speaker say the same thing. Compare. You'll hear things you can adjust. It's great for self-correction.
Okay. What about confidence? That fear of mistakes?
First step, stop thinking about mistakes as failures. Reframe them. They're feedback, they're learning. And the best confidence builder.
Practice.
Daily practice. Speak English every day, even just 15 minutes. Talk to yourself. Find a partner. Use that mirror. Consistency builds confidence.
And you mentioned a 3-second rule.
Yeah, it's a little trick for conversations. When you want to say something, don't overthink it for ages. Give yourself 3 seconds, then just speak. It breaks that hesitation cycle.
Jump in.
And seek out real conversations whenever you can. Nothing beats the real thing.
Okay, now the big one. Thinking in English. You called it the ultimate key. Why is it so important?
Because it cuts out that middleman, the translation process. Translating in your head is slow, it's unnatural, and it often leads to awkward phrasing. Thinking directly in English makes speaking much more fluid.
But how do you start doing that? It feels like a big mental switch.
It does, but you start small. The sources suggest First, just name objects. All day long, see a bed, think bed, see a tree, think tree. Directly connect the object to the English word.
No native language step in between.
Try to bypass it. Then, simple sentences. Narrate your actions internally. I am brushing my teeth. I am eating rice. Keep it basic.
And the self-talk helps here too.
Definitely. Getting ready. I am choosing my clothes. Walking outside. The weather is nice today. And immerse yourself. Watch and listen every day. Movies, podcasts, simple books, subtitles are fine at first.
Just constant exposure.
Constant input. And the most important part, speak even if you make mistakes.
Don't freeze if you forget a word.
Exactly. If you can't think of the word lost for your keys, don't stop talking. Find another way. I don't have my keys. I cannot find them. Simple words, message delivered. Keep the flow going.
So adaptability is key. Use the words you do know.
Precisely. And there's even a suggested daily plan. Morning, name objects. Afternoon, think simple sentences. Evening, watch, listen. Night, self-talk before bed.
Building the habit step by step.
Consistency makes it natural over time.
Okay, so bringing this all together, the core message from this deep dive seems really quite positive. It's not that English is inherently impossible.
Not at all. The biggest hurdles often seem to be internal, that fear, that hesitation.
And those are things we can actually tackle with these kinds of strategies and a shift in mindset.
Absolutely. And think about the payoff. Better job opportunities, easier travel, connecting with people globally, understanding movies and music.
Plus, just that feeling of personal confidence and independence.
It's huge. So the main thing is to keep learning, keep trying, persevere even when it feels tough.
Yeah, don't get discouraged by the bumps in the road. Every bit of effort counts.
This deep dive, it's really just a starting point for that journey towards speaking more easily. So the real encouragement is start now. Start thinking, speaking, living in English a little bit more, starting today.
And remember, mistakes are okay. Effort is what counts.
Exactly.
So on that note, maybe one final thought for everyone listening to consider. What's just one really small, specific change you could make immediately, like right after this in your daily routine, to start immersing yourself just a tiny bit more in English?
Yeah, maybe it's labeling your kettle or switching one app to English.
Or just deciding, okay, when I wake up tomorrow, my first thought will be in English. Just one small thing.
Find that one step you can take right now. That's where the journey really begins.
Thanks for listening. And if you found the video helpful, please hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you never miss an episode and share it with others who might benefit. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, we'd love to hear from you. So your feedback is really important to us. And if you want to continue learning right now, here in this playlist, you'll find helpful videos for English listening practice. You might want to watch it next. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.